In this video, I take my Traxxas Rustler to a massive skate park with tons of monster jumps for me to do crazy stunts on. But after a lucky streak of somehow not wrecking my RC truck after crashing it again and again and again in previous videos, it finally broke after just 5 minutes. And when I got it fixed, the trouble didn't stop.
No!
Ending in the worst crash I've ever made.
I've come to this huge skate park to rip my Traxxas Rustler on, and I've been to a skate park before with my Rustler, but it was much smaller than this. Here they've got this ginormous pit, they've got some big jumps over there, and we can probably pull half pipes, front flips, and back flips. There's only 2 other people here right now, so let's get ripping. We're gonna start on what I hope is the easiest part. I gotta clear this grass out of here first. Like that. Chuck the battery in, plug it in, and close it up. Ready to go. Well, this is not a good start. Seems to be having a bouncing issue. Let's try it on this flat out part. What's that wobble all about? Seems to have sorted itself out. Okay, not sure what that was. That might have been the servo. But let's get back to what the video is supposed to be. Oh, I got so close to ripping an arm off. If I hit the grind rail there, that will definitely take a wheel off or an arm. We have a good spot here to yeet the truck into the grass without damaging it. At the last skate park, all I could do was yeet it out of like the big pit and hit concrete, and that would have totally destroyed my Rustler. But let's see what happens when we yeet it onto this grass. I'm a little scared. Oh, backflip. Let's go. Let's do that again. Uh-oh, guys. We broke it. So here's the issue right here. This shock came right out of the arm. The arm itself is actually fine, and the skate park today is not what caused that. That was a previous injury from when I was testing it after I fixed the rear shock that bent, if you remember that. I noticed the shaking issue then, but I didn't even talk about this part breaking because it wasn't a big deal. I just put some Loctite on the screw and shoved it back in there, but the threads were actually completely ripped out. So the Loctite was not enough to keep it from breaking on a big jump like this. So I'm gonna have to get a new arm, fix this, and then we can come back. That's too bad. Which reminds me, you can get your very own shirt just like the one I'm wearing now from my brand new merch store. It has a strike through the word bash and a check mark next to the word smash, because even though they're called bashers, every RC enthusiast knows that all we do is smash and break them just like I did. These shirts are super comfortable and they come in 5 colors for you to choose from: ivory, watermelon, red, ice blue, and my favorite, blue spruce, which I'm wearing now. I've also got hats, hoodies, stickers, and even travel mugs. Get yours now using the link in the description or the QR code next to my head. I also just noticed this tire popped off. I'll have to glue that back on. The other side looks fine though.
Yay, new parts are here!
That whole bag for 2 little bags of parts. I got 2 pairs of left and right arms because I know that these break pretty often. So I'll save the extra pair in the bag that I always bring with me when I go bashing, just in case. Now I just have to figure out how to install it. I'll put this in here for safekeeping until I need it. I think I need to remove this front bumper, which I had previously taken off to try to access the steering servo for another repair, but that was actually the completely wrong part to remove. They are quite worn down from scraping the asphalt. What else is holding it on? Oh, there's screws on the top of it too. No, wait, those are for something else. I think these ones right here are the other two that hold the bumper on. Oh, I can hear the sand just grinding away in the threads. And it should just pop off. Like that. So now I think if I take the smaller Allen key and remove this blue piece of metal, then I can slide the pin out that holds the suspension arm on. Okay, that's one side detached. Now, how do I get the other side? I think this will be easier if I take the tire off, and I have to take the tire off anyway to glue the rubber back on. So there's the arm, and then there's the screw that holds it on. Why is it not coming out? Now it's just free spinning. Is it stripped? Like, what's the deal? I don't want to break something else by pushing this, but it seems like that's the only way to get it out. Okay, well, YouTube says that I have to remove this screw right here as well. And I need a bigger Allen key for that. And then this screw right here should just pop out, maybe. Oh, there's another screw on top. Aha. And then I can pull that part out. And maybe, just maybe get this silver screw out, please. I think I just have to pull really hard. Time for the pliers. Got it. There's the broken suspension arm. Thankfully our screw still seems okay. Out with the old one. Time for the new one. I'll store the extra arm in the bag. Boom. The next order of business is to get this tire glue back on. I don't know how it came off because when I fixed it last with this glue was extremely strong. So I must have put it through something really hard, or maybe on this spot I didn't put enough glue, but let's put some more on. Hopefully this didn't all dry up. Pliers saved the day again. I do not suggest you get this stuff on your skin, as it is very irritating. I'll let that dry for 24 hours, and then I can slap it back on. Now the last thing I want to do is move the glitch buster a little bit, because this zip tie hasn't held it very securely. It's just around the antenna, and it's been flopping around quite a bit. I don't want it to break or the wires to rip. Uh-oh, it's not coming out. Okay, so I'm gonna zip tie this around the blue motor wire. And before I get it too tight, I'm gonna put some more tape back on the top to make the glitch buster hopefully waterproof, water resistant. Carefully cut the zip tie without cutting the wire. And then I'll just add a piece of tape to help hold the zip tie on. Let's just make sure the body still fits on. And yes, The body fits on with plenty of room to spare between it and the capacitor. Boom, we're back at the skate park. My truck is finally repaired and I can get back to bashing it. And man, it is hot here today. I'm gonna pick up right where I left off last time, and I brought all my spare parts with me just in case I break something or rip the rubber off the tire again. I should be covered. Now there's a super high jump, which I didn't even notice before. Let's not go for that first, but I will hit that. My heart is pounding. I'm having flashbacks. Let's go. Perfect landing once again. Hopefully my phone doesn't overheat. I'm gonna attempt the high jump now. We have a soft landing no matter what happens. I've been landing it upside down, but then it kind of flips back anyway. So maybe my poor driving is actually making me drive better. Go figure. The body popped over the bumper again, but other than that, no issues. I'm hoping with the new Rustler coming out soon that I can still get a replacement body for this one. Let's push our luck and try that again. Oh yeah. The battery pack came flying out. I hope it's all right. Oh, I still hear it running. What do we got going on? So the drive shaft isn't bent. I wonder if I didn't clip the battery in properly, because there's no way that should have come out. Let's just pop that back in there. I mean, everything else is fine. The front suspension, the rear suspension, even the body doesn't look much worse. Okay, don't come out. So I said it was hot out and my phone just overheated and missed an epic stunt, but let's keep going. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. Oh yeah. Wipe out. Wah, wah, wah. So I just noticed this little wooden ramp here that somebody put there. I don't think that was put there by the skate park, but it got me thinking, can I get the truck going fast enough where it's gonna jump the ramp, get over this little curb here, and then go over the concrete and into the grass? Or will it smash into a million pieces on the concrete? I only have the stock gearing in, so it only goes 2/3 of the top speed. And the other tricky part is even hitting that ramp. Okay. So it landed upright, but it did hit the concrete. Luckily, nothing seems to. Let's go again. I don't even quite remember what happened. I was straight flat. Oh, we didn't land on the wheel bar, unfortunately. This is super bendy, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. This is what I like to call the toilet bowl. I'm not exactly sure what the official name is for it, maybe the pit. But the one at the last skate park was really small compared to this, even though at the time I thought it was big. I think its suspension is kind of soft. Should it be bottoming out like that? Do I need to add more spacers? We're getting some speed though. This thing is whipping. That's not bad. Let's have a quick look. I don't see anything broken. Nope, everything's fine, and the battery is still in place. You see how easy that is to push down though? And it's kind of already stagnant. My phone overheated once again, but not to worry, it's back, thank goodness. And we can get back to having fun. That was really cool. I thought for a second I was not going to land that one. It landed behind the camera upside down, and then it flipped back over. No! It's really too bad the self-righting feature doesn't work. It has one, but I guess because this is only a 3S truck, it just doesn't work like it's supposed to. And I also believe 3S trucks are the lowest powered trucks that they offer self-righting on. That sounded bad.
Bad was an understatement.
So I just looked at the damage, and at first, I thought it was completely wrecked. I saw the ESC fan hanging out from under the body, and I thought, oh no, the whole ESC came out. And then I saw this bottom was sagging. I thought, oh, the whole shock shattered. And then I saw this battery was tilted up. I tilted it back, and the battery was fine. The ESC fan was still running when I took it off. I just need to snap it back on. And then I think I can just thread this back on. I mean, how did that even come off? The threads aren't stripped. I think maybe some oil came out of the shock, but we can still run it for today. And then this spring right here popped off. Oh, actually, the whole base for it came off. I'll have to find where that ended up. But other than that, the Rustler is fine. This truck is absolutely bulletproof, man. While I was repairing the shock, I noticed another issue that could potentially be huge. The cap on the motor popped off, and I don't know what that does, but I think that feeds all the wires into it. So if those wires are ripped, we could have a serious issue. There's just oil everywhere, especially here where the shock exploded. So now, if nothing really broke, I should just be able to screw this right back onto the top. Is it gonna be that easy? It really was that easy. Wow. The shock still feels pretty stiff. I think we can keep running it for the rest of the day. That's a win. I got the fan clip back on, and this motor cap just needed to be pushed back. Now all I have to do is find the base for this spring. Should be somewhere out there in the skate park. You can see right there is where the shock blew open That's the oil. But I can't find the base for that shock anywhere around here, unless this is it. Nope.
That part that I just dropped on the ground was the seal for the shock that blew open.
And it's especially hard because there's oil stains and black spots all over the skate park. I think it's gone.
And as if things weren't bad enough already.
And now I also just noticed that this part right here came out. So that has to be popped back in. I think this plastic piece right here just like shattered because it's gone. And now I've also lost this screw too. Well, a crazy smash ruins the day again.
And when I got home, I noticed that the wires going into the glitch buster were bent and maybe even torn. In addition, both wheels now have an uneven toe. I guess the skate park really has it in for me.
I fixed everything that I can fix without having to buy new parts. I got the ESC fan back on, I got the motor cap snapped back on. I fixed the toe on the front. It's not perfect, but it should work, and I'm not sure that that was ever perfect. These are the parts I need. I need a spring retainer from this set here. They don't sell just a single spring retainer. And then I also need a sealer for that shock that burst open. I'll also need to find oil. The parts are pretty cheap. There is $5 shipping, but in total it's still cheaper than Amazon because Amazon overcharges for these parts. This is why I like Traxxas so much, because you can get the exact part you need at a decent price. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Although I did some serious damage to the Rustler at the skate park, I still had a lot of fun with it. And if you're not having fun with your RC, what's the point of even having one? If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.